Tonight on Prime Business, traders at the Agbogbloshie market are concerned about soaring price of tomatoes triggered by shortage of the vegetable.
And the paint rubber, which used to be 25, is now selling at 80 cedis and 90 cedis. Then we come to the small one, which used to be 10 cedis, is now selling at.
Mobile money operators expected to refund wrongful deductions on e-levy transactions within 3 days.
So we had to write to the Minister for Finance, to petition that we wanted to ensure that customers had a seamless, user experience when we went live on 1st of May. So we believe that we should start with the on-net, where we do not need to connect to the common platform before you make any transaction.
Ghana's infrastructure on the verge of being declared a public risk if sustainable engineering and maintenance practices are not introduced immediately. We have more ahead on the latest infrastructure scorecard by the Institution of Engineering.
If your infrastructure is not in a good order, there's no way you can achieve zero hunger, poverty, and all those fantastic things that the world is trying to achieve.
We have all these stories and more coming up shortly, but we shall begin with commodities. Now, traders at the Agbogbloshie market are concerned about soaring price of tomatoes. Currently, a box of tomatoes that sold for 1,500 cedis is now selling for 2,800 cedis, whilst a small-sized potato is going for a cedi or two. The rising price of the vegetable is due to the shortage in the country. On the Joy Business Shopping List today, Beverly Brom takes a look at the impact on soaring prices. Watch this.
Have you noticed the price of tomatoes has shot up drastically? Exactly my reason for coming to the Agbogbloshie market, to gauge the price of tomatoes and possibly find out from traders what is accounting for the increase. Join me.
This small basket is going for 350 cedis. It used to be 150. It used to be 150 cedis, and it decreased down to 70 and 80 cedis. But now, because of the price of tomatoes, which has gone high, we are selling it at 350 cedis. And then the big basket, which used to be 150 cedis, is now selling at 600 cedis. And the paint rubber, which used to be 25 cedis, is now selling at 80 cedis and 90 cedis. Then we come to the small one, which used to be 10 cedis, is now selling at 40 cedis. Well, this one, let's say these ones are not all that good. They are the ones that, in fact, got some scratches and then this thing from the box. So we put it in a bowl and then sell it at 80 cedis. Some are selling it at 70 cedis, and then maybe the lowest price right now is 60 cedis. The box is selling at, that was last week. We bought the box at 2,800. But this week, we took the box for 2,600.
So it means that the price is going down?
Yes, but we hope that it's decreased to the normal price. That is if they get more tomatoes from Burkina. And right now they are complaining that the rain is disturbing the tomatoes. So probably I know the price will be increasing. I am very sure, because if you look at the rate at which tomatoes used to come and the rate at which it is coming now, there's a vast difference. Meaning that if we were having like 6 cars, 7 cars coming to Accra, right now we're having like 2 cars or probably 1 car coming to Accra. So definitely the price of the tomatoes, I'm not sure it will come down for now.
So around what time should we expect the local to come on the market?
Oh, local have started coming, but the price in the bush there is costly, it's expensive. They are saying the box in the bush is costing about 1,600. So probably when it comes here, they'll be selling it at 2,000 or probably 1,800. So still tomatoes will be expensive.
Ntosi bona akosoro no enye ema no na ma ntosi akosoro. Obi e ni me say yare ne ba ye ne bibia akọ nanim. Safe awoso. If we say starting bokena no. Now say for the 145. Ya anteswa to now ye di be wie bokena aka be me fa ne se bia 2 weeks. Awa ga ba na wie. But a driver for na ye no mo ye adwuma no. First lorry fare no mo je 120. By yes abe to 2 full munenti no. Omo nye 120 ni bi. Omo ji 200. Enu ntama ye nso no, edwa na ye kọ no. Bari a bia ye bedru bia ye twa 3,000 sefa. 3,000 sefa na ba Ghana skama ye 300,000. Eniema ni ka ni mu no. Wo ba nso na niema e wo ka ni ma. Bali a bia obetwa 5,000 sefa. E ba Ghana skama e 50 cedi.
Enti ye kan ya se barrier be say 96.
E do so. Bari and dey se bia wo ko te set tewu a. E bia betima cross bali akra bet se bia 20 ana 25. Obetwa ko be san twa de aba.
Enti mo ko Burkina na e te say.
Burkina fi Burkina ho nye easy sa because of Boko Haram phone ntino. Burkina e ho ye hu kakra. Because yame ammo na akofo ba bia se wo fa. Ida se betimi ahamo. Ana se betimi apram ana se betimi abo driver kura tuo. But all the same ni nyame na de ye nam.
Mo ye de ni omo bon Burkina ho na mo ti okasa no.
Ye te kasa na maako but nye ye nyina na ye te kasa no. Eti edu border Ghana border. Ansa na be cross Burkina border na ye won interpreters a omo border no so omo na kasa mayen. Ansa na ntosi na ye timi ato.
It is box no mo fa ne sen.
130,000 for one box.
No eba Ghana
eba Ghana skama ye 1,008. Ansa na kwan so atwetwe abeka ho. Ansa na roll fare abeka ho. Edi ntosi di be fu odi be du ha no. Enya boketo a.
Nti ha no mo to ne sen box no.
Last week no na ye 128. And I can't see any baby boss until born a son, but Timba from. But and no, 25 and 24. But watching out for a best so because in two now more to 1 nano, our more pure board than a price and I was sure into a channel to the best aquanin.
It's a basket, says that I have to show which in anything.
6 million. 600 Ghana.
First, now,
first, no boo any idea what me by way credit 100 Ghana and 80 Ghana. By see I the oba unyanesa.
Na the tomatoes
50 cedi. The first we go about 10 cedi and 5 cedi kura benya. Na paint rubber no so 80 cedi.
This obi pay 5 cedi, obi pay cafe bi there.
Obi 5 cedi am yensa na be yama 5 cedi. 2 per 10 cedi ayede. Me yensa na be ka ho ne ato so ba akọ. E dey amount 10 cedi. 2 cedi dia wunya because obi akoto ntosi 2008. No wa gira wo say 2 cedi.
So according to traders, the increment is indeed real. So in case you plan on going tomato shopping this weekend, quick advice, carry lots of cash to the market. Beverly Broom for Joy Business.
There you have it. Price of tomatoes skyrocketing over 100% there. But we'll still stay with matters regarding agric because the World Food Programme is supporting agro-processors and other agric value chain players to take advantage of opportunities in the agro sector to be globally competitive. The organization has reiterated its commitment to Ghana to help develop a resilient economy which impacts on zero hunger. We have more in this report.
World Food Programme, WFP, has started implementing transformative programs that support Ghana to engage competitively with the rest of the world through trade and investment. 2 industrial agro-processors have benefited from the World Food Programme initiative. Barbara Tolu Clemens is the representative and country director, WFP.
It's unprecedented really in my experience in WFP that we're in on this project for several years, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor, and not only just the fruits of our labor in terms of the implementation of a project, but we're seeing what the multiplier effects could be for Ghana in terms of its GDP, increasing the livelihoods of smallholder farmers, giving them access to markets, giving them access to technical inputs as well as financial inputs, not just for farmers, but also for small processors and medium processors such as Premium.
One of the agro-processors, Premium Foods, qualified as a producer and supplier of super cereal, a specialized nutritious food to WFP's global operations. The WFP ordered 1,200 metric tons of super cereal from Premium Foods to be delivered to Burkina Faso. Tom Gabra is founder and managing director of Premium Foods.
Canada's investment really was useful because when it came in, then the other bankers realized, wow, this is something good, let's also move into it. And so they were able to fund it for us. Without WFP, who did the proposal for the Canadian government to give the WFP the money to give us, this whole thing would not have happened. And we also thank the WFP, and also we really thank you for the orders.
From 2016 to 2021, the WFP implemented an integrative nutritious food security initiative dubbed Enhanced Nutrition and Value Chains in Ghana, which was funded by Canada. It's aimed at encouraging the consumption of specialized nutritious foods to help improve pregnant and nursing women, adolescent girls and children's nutrition.
Now, Ghana's public infrastructure is on the verge of becoming a public risk if adequate resources are not paid to sustainable engineering and maintenance practices. It comes as the country scored a D3 in the latest Ghana Infrastructure Report Card by the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Launching the scorecard, Chairman of the Research Committee, Engineer Magnus Kwashi, warned about the consequences of poor quality infrastructure.
Okay, if we don't maintain or do timely maintenance interventions, what it means is that whatever infrastructure we have is going to completely deteriorate, and it costs us more to build new ones. And every day we drive around, we see what happens. If you have a small pothole and you don't patch it, and then it becomes a lake, you know, and before you realize the road is completely gone. I mean, these are simple examples we have. So if we fail to act at the time we are supposed to, then it means that we are heading for a crash. Okay, so this is basically that, and we want to provide this information for policymakers so that we can act timeously to actually ensure that our infrastructure we develop, you know, is on a sustainable basis and can take us a lifetime. So this is really a qualitative research that the GHIE intends to contribute to the public discourse. Okay, so if we say we have maybe 1,000 schools, what does it mean? If we say we've built maybe 50,000 kilometers of road, what does it mean to the public? Okay, so it isn't just about the infrastructure. Its relevance, its efficiency, its quality, and what it does to contribute to improve the quality of life of the people. And so this process actually originated from the American Society of Civil Engineers. Okay, so generally what is happening is, whilst the president is talking about the state of the nation, what our president, representing us as Institution of Engineering, is talking about the state of infrastructure. And so we want to contribute the level, to alert the public the quality or the level of quality of our infrastructure. Now, if we build schools and they don't help our children, you know, I've been to some schools where I didn't do too much research, but I could tell that in 5 years they will all have vision problems, because you see this nice you see this building, honeycomb, not even glass, honeycomb, and the rooms are dark. Okay, you see children sitting on some interesting chairs. You know, they say JSS chairs, so they give it to some carpenter, no formula, straight back, this, and people grow up with back pains. I mean, we take these little ergonomics for granted. But what we as an institution is trying to do with this report is actually to contribute to the discourse and to see how policymakers, like he said, politicians or government can take this and then run with to do something. I mean, that's how far we can go.
Meanwhile, the president of the GIE, Charles Enum Adam, has called for some emergency reforms to ensure the sustainability of infrastructure.
If your infrastructure is not in a good order, there's no way you can achieve zero hunger, poverty, and all those fantastic things that the world is trying to achieve. Fortunately, the Ghana Institution of Engineering has given itself the task to alert the general public and to put us on track, to ensure that whilst governments have come and are building the infrastructure, we will strategically grade it and then determine exactly where we are with respect to where we intend to go, and we will be able to tell the health of the infrastructure based on sound principles, based on sound criteria, and well-tested and well-proven approaches. I believe that the areas selected are very important to the national life, to the national discourse. And therefore, for us at the institution, we are very excited and look forward to this project actually coming out with the real results. And I want to say at this point that the council will do everything possible to make sure that this comes to fruition, or reality. And as we launch this, we also want to appeal, let me make a special appeal, not to government, no, but to all well-meaning Ghanaians and partners who may be able to support such a worthy cause. Because what we want to do is a very independent, research-based approach, which I believe that will even include views of the general public in the final analysis, so that they will contribute to what their view of the infrastructure.
Mobile money operators have been given the assurance of refunding wrongful deductions on e-levy transfers within 3 days. Since Tuesday, operators have started making some refunds, contrary to reports that this would have not been realized. Dr. Kenneth Shigbe is Chief Executive of the Telecoms Chamber and has been speaking on PM Express, the business edition.
Now, the EMIs, the banks, the fintechs, all of us in charging the e-levy, we restricted ourselves to what happened on our networks without necessarily going out. So for us, the EMIs, we call that the on-net transactions. So you do our transactions on net, but you also charged off net as well. And so because that decision was also taken almost in the last minute, you know, it really took a lot of doing to prepare what you had already prepared, but you had left and started working towards the common platform and go back to that. And so come Sunday, you know, I believe that for this massive nature of this project, we started very well. You know, there were some challenges, as you would expect with any new project, but the good thing is that most of them have been fixed. Those that are still being worked on are things that we know when they are going to be fixed. Typical example is the fact that for one of the networks, because they had a cap for their charges, when it came to the levies as well, the law does not allow capping. They were still capping it. So what it resulted in is that if anybody was sending, transferring money on that particular network, and you went above, you know, the cap, then the taxes were not added up. So it means in that particular case, then that network, that EMI had to quickly find a way of resolving that, but it had to bear the cost of all the taxes that currently were being undercharged.
We're still on E-Levy because the GRA has prevailed on religious bodies in the Ashanti region to help in the smooth implementation of the electronic transaction levy. The authority believes religious leaders can positively influence their members to better appreciate the tax handle in national revenue mobilization. The GRA engaged religious leaders on filing of tax returns online via the GRA's taxpayers portal. We have more in this report.
The government has challenged the Ghana Revenue Authority to collect over 80.3 billion cedis in revenue this year. The authority believes this target can be achieved if Ghanaians voluntarily honor their tax obligations. The GRA is, however, urging religious leaders to educate members on the need to pay taxes. Ashanti Area Director of GRA, Agnes Akosia Edubuatin, spoke at the sensitization program for religious leaders.
I want to encourage everyone here present also to embrace the electronic levy, the E-Levy implementation policy, which began on Sunday, May 1, 2022. Even though few challenges were reported, efforts are being put in place to resolve all the teething problems. As men of God, you also have a responsibility to educate your congregation on the need to honor their tax obligation.
The GRA is piloting the electronic VAT system for collection of revenue added tax. The digital platform deployment by GRA is in line with the Commissioner General's transformational agenda. An e-commerce registration portal has been developed for non-residents engaged in e-commerce and digital services to charge VAT.
As I speak with you, our Commissioner General is rolling out a lot of initiatives which we believe we need to engage you. And it is in line with his transformational agenda. The authority is piloting the electronic VAT system, which is an electronic invoicing for VAT collection.
Some religious leaders who participated in the workshop spoke to Love News.
In fact, we were not expecting such an education. Most of Ghanaians don't understand tax paying. Because of that, they don't pay. For example, the artisans, they don't pay tax at all. But right now, what we have learned from here, we are going to educate our church members.
We are and the GRE Idiano, and sorry, no, a kuipa na as church no, yes, may be a free mo, abba.
We have realized that as a church, we need to also pay our taxes to the Ghana Revenue Authority.
I was here to tax no. I was as a church need to meet to tax edema or mano.
Anita Sewajuke's reports read to you.
Now, government has given firm backing to the new Insurance Act, which is currently in force. The Vice President revealed this at the West African Insurance Companies Association 2022 Annual General Meeting and Education in Accra. According to him, it is one of the measures to strengthen the insurance industry. Mawusi Numom has more in the following report.
The new Insurance Act 2021 replaces that of 2006 to bring the regulation of the insurance industry into conformity with international framework and supervisory standards. This is expected to increase the country's competitiveness in the sector going forward. Government has, in this regard, instituted some measures to strengthen the industry. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the Vice President of Ghana.
Government has put in place measures to strengthen the insurance industry, including the following: the passage of a new Insurance Act in 2021, last year. The new Act provides stringent regulatory framework to protect consumers and increase accessibility of insurance to the Ghanaian populace, particularly the informal sector, operators and consumers in the low-income brackets. It also provides measures aimed at strengthening the corporate governance practices within the industry and in accordance with the international best principles of risk-based supervisory framework. The new Insurance Act also has strengthened the regulatory powers of the National Insurance Commission and has provided for the regulation of marine insurance, agriculture insurance, micro insurance, and innovative insurance. We have also embarked on a recapitalization of the insurance industry to help strengthen the balance sheets of regulated insurance entities. This is aimed at enhancing the underwriting capacity of insurers to enable them assume higher insurance risk and to make resources available for investment in essential productive areas such as technology, product development, and distribution of appropriate insurance packages.
Speaking on the impact of digitization on Ghana's economy at large, Dr. Bawumia says the process is gradually paying off.
Through the issue of the national ID card, we also converted the national ID card number to the tax identification number. So in so doing, when we came into office, only 4% of the adult population of Ghana had a tax identification number. 4%. By converting the national ID card into the tax identification number, we've moved from 4% to 85% of the adult population of Ghana. So we are really formalizing the economy and building a data-based economy. We have digitized most of government operations at the ports, it's paperless. Drivers and vehicle licensing, it's paperless. National health insurance, we've got a Ghana.gov platform where all government institutions are on, and so you have to just go to that one stop to apply for any government service. And we are seeing major implication or impacts of this digitalization on efficient service delivery and also on reduction of corruption.
Well, that'll be it for Prime Business. I'm Charles Ayitey. We have more news on myjoyonline.com. I'll leave you with international business news. In the meantime, we have sports also coming up shortly. Do stay with Joy News.